Okay, so I had to restart my phone after deleting the last vlog. So I'm doing airdrops to the computer because the phone is only 512. My Mac is 1 terabyte, and then I'm gonna have to get 1 terabyte backups to back up either SD cards. That's gonna be so weird. I don't know how reliable these China-made SD cards. Maybe I can go mainstream. I say China-made. I didn't mean that. I meant generic China brands versus reputable ones. Samsung, Korean. And I actually don't know China. Can I think of one? I should be able to think of a Chinese brand, a major one. I can't. You have US, Western Digital, and for storage. Kingston, another one. Where's Kingston? They sound American, but I think they're overseas Chinese or something like that. Not sure though. Don't quote me. So yeah, tons of different types of brands of storage, but yeah, I like to back up my vlogs just to have a backup in case YouTube goes down one day. YouTube's not going to go down. If there's anything to have a backup, it would be to the cloud, and YouTube is essentially the cloud, right? And you don't have to pay for it. That's the great thing about YouTube. It's incredible. Storage, video storage, you don't have to pay for. I can't answer that now. So, hi everyone. We'll continue. So, owls.wtf 0.001 Ethereum, which is about $1.50 to 0.042, which is which is about $650. So, 400x pump. Is it 420x? Crazy. Oh, look at that chalk. So how do you get in? You just got to see it. It has to be. It's all about the timing. NFTs, really low priced NFTs, and meme coins, dog coins, were pumping. ShibP, the one that did 200x, or I think 500x, but 100x more likely when it hit $2. It was 84 cents last time I checked. And of course, PAW swap on Shibarium, on Shibadex. It's weird because I don't know how it works. Shibarium doesn't have mainnet. Do they have beta right now? So the swaps are in the beta, like PAW and ShibP. I don't know. Shib launcher, ShibPad. They used to call them launch pads. So that's why if it's the name of the meme coin plus pad or P, it's a launcher for other projects to launch on. It's just like there's no product yet, but they just have a website and say, yeah, you can launch with us. We have a website. We have our own swap, our own liquidity pools, whatever. So LPs mean liquidity pools, by the way. It's where people can pool, which I believe, I don't know the ancient history, but I believe in 2019 that Uniswap invented the LP, which it balances Ethereum or a stable coin like USDC, USDT, DAI, and the token you're trading. So most people, the risk is in the token they're trading. So half of it is risk on, half of it is risk off. That provides liquidity for people to go in and out. I don't know exactly how it works. There was a formula, but how the balancing works. And then they had Uniswap V3, the big launch last year, and they talked about how you can set the zones of liquidity, the price gaps, price zones, price ranges, whatever. Anyway, so talked about ShibP, meme coins. So it was prime. You have to have timing. If something launches tomorrow, it's not going to do 400x, 420x like owls because it was primed. Meme coins are pumping. The market was dead. It's the weekend and it's the first one since checks. But the problem is I don't think this one will last the same way checks lasted. Checks went 500x. Yeah, because it was the mint. No, Yeah, checks did about 500x because the price, I mean, in terms of how fast the price moved, owls dot what the fuck definitely were more impressive than checks, but I don't think it's gonna hold just because it's the tail end. But it might go higher, and it's just gonna die fast though once it peaks. It's not gonna last unless they have a whole eco going. But checks was the first, and then everything else. You had the monsters. I have no idea what they're calling the French artist that made them. The blue monsters, and they had red and green and yellow monsters. I forgot what they're called. Actually owned 11 of them at one point. I still own 3. Not sure what they're called. Anyway, so that's meme season, NFT. You just got to be right. It's people always ask, like, how do I know this coin is gonna pump? Blah blah blah. It's most of the time it's not about the coin. It's about the timing and conditions. Like any coin can pump at any time, but you just got to have the right conditions to pump it. And if you don't have the right conditions, then we're not going to see a mega pump. She's looking at something. She's like, how do I get down to the cemetery? It's actually flooded out, but the bodies are still here. I think it was just some sections that were flooded during the storm, the big storm last week. So, well, this is the new dog I'm watching for a month, Cashew. I'm watching until the end of March, or mid-March, sorry. March 19th. I'll take a minute right now to do the Bonnie shout outs and payments. So everyone who commented on the Rip Bonnie trilogy is getting money. So we're getting $100 to Jamie for talking about how one of his cats died in the car, and now he doesn't own cats because they die. I mean, is that a little bit of simplistic? That's like saying I don't watch movies because they come to an end. I don't play video games because they end. Everything's so he only plays games that have no ending, that you just rack up the score and they're constantly building levels, I guess. No. So I guess that's why he did time trials in Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64 and Spelunky, because you can just continuously try to beat your time. There's no ending. So it makes sense. He doesn't like the end, the sadness, the melancholy that comes at the end of the movie. Like, what next? Because the human condition always searches for what next after. And of course, what next after a bull market comes to an end is a bear, and then what next after the bear? A bull. That's the nature of cycles. Life is full of cycles, so we can't go full season, full Monty, full Nacho, full DCL all the time. It's just not gonna happen. So you gotta have cycles. You gotta have breaks. Okay, and seasons. Just great. What's great in life, or in the earth, is we have seasons. Are there planets without seasons? Yeah, I think so, because that's a good question. Oh, he's throwing up. So they say to give your dog activated charcoal or hydrogen sulfide. Forgot the chemical name. Hydrogen peroxide, to get him to throw up, which is basically rubbing alcohol. They also say don't try to induce vomiting, which is weird, because now for humans you never try to induce vomiting, because the risk of aspiration, you just want it to pass through the digestive system. The risk of aspiration, the risk of, she'll find me eventually, I'm not worried. Aspiration, burning to the esophagus, Stomach lining too. And throwing up. What else? Aspiration is when food or water goes into food or fluid goes into your lungs. What else? Burning, nausea. I guess those are the major risks. Throwing up, but I think if you swallow poison, you should throw it up if you catch it early. If it's already been absorbed, like hours later, obviously not. But if it's right away, like rat poison, yeah, go ahead and give a dog to throw it up. I think, like for objects, like weird objects that went into the stomach, you don't want to throw it up. Make them throw up. But for poison, I think you should make them throw up. I gotta look that up though. So activated charcoal. The people used to say salt, special types of salt, but now they just say hydrogen peroxide and maybe activated charcoal. I gotta look that up. So Bun Bun Fun suggested activated charcoal, but the thing with Bonnie is she just ate dog food. It wasn't anything poisonous. She just ate too much. Her stomach was compressed, or maybe slightly volatile because she had just walked. She was tired. But that's a risk of aspiration though, not bloat, I think. So a double-edged sword. With water, it aids in digestion, but it contributes to bloat when you feed them with water. But it will aid in the digestion. So I think aspiration, it's lowered, but bloat, it's increased. It's weird. So yeah, she was a smaller dog. She lost all the weight, and I was still feeding her like she was the bigger dog once a day. And it was at the end, the larger Pebbles from the Purina Beneful brand. It was just, in the end, it was a bit random. It was just random. They say 3 to 5x their normal feeding is, but if she's eating twice a day, would that be 1.5x to 2.5x? I don't know, but they say it's common when they eat 3x to 5x their normal food intake. And maybe because she skipped a day 2 days before eating, her stomach hadn't fully expanded. And what's the point of having a smaller stomach, right, if you can't eat a lot of food? Well, the point is, if you're trying to lose weight or conserve energy, you want your stomach to be small so it doesn't trigger hunger pains. And I guess that's the major thing, so you don't get hungry. All right, so that's Bun Bun Fun. And who else? Who's the other guy? No, someone else commented. Comfy, of course. He said if he had thousands of dollars, he might have saved his cat's life. This cat was sick and old and had cancer, I think. It's tough. It's tough when they have a terminal illness versus emergency illness. When they have an emergency illness and they're old, that's just tough. Because you're like, what do we do? If they have a terminal illness like cancer, you can maybe buy them an extra year with leukemia. I mean, what do you call the treatments for cancer? Or radiation therapy, chemotherapy. But yeah, that's why it's so hard when they're old and it's emergency. What do I do? I did save her 2 years ago. I don't think I saved her. She just needed antibiotics. It wasn't. So I thought it was going to be the same thing in the morning. I would take her in, see how she was doing, maybe give her antibiotics. I didn't realize she was at death's door. So twofold. If I knew she was at death's door, I would have taken her in. But I didn't want to take her in just for an exam because I didn't want to pay thousands of dollars. Middle of the night exam, so automatically $1,000 minimum. Surgery, $5,000 usually. I just couldn't do it. I'd rather spend it on emergencies for these guys that are younger. Barack here, Barack O'Barker. I don't know if he might be the oldest. I don't know how old, but yeah, he seems healthy though. A lot healthier than Bono, maybe because he's smaller, but I'd do the emergency on him. But $5,000 I wouldn't pay it at once. I would pay like $1,000 up front and then $500 a month for 8 months or whatever. Anyway, so Comfy gets 100, Jamie gets 100, Bun Bun Fun gets 100, and the big winner of the $500 BSV is If Whales Had Thumbs, talking about how he had to pay $6,000 to save his dog's life, his dog Tur's life one day. So congrats. Just contact me either in reply or in DM for $500. So that's the BSV, $800 total giveaway. I haven't done a giveaway in a long time. And am I gonna end the vlog here? Maybe part 3?